Hello, ladies and gentlemen, loyal Imperial citizens and rebel scum alike. Welcome to another Liam Aiden gameplay video. Back with more Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes today, where, as promised, we're going to be taking a look at my recommendations for the first teams you want to go for in the game. The first light side team and the first dark side team. Now, recently, I made a video looking at why I think 2021, this year, is the best year to come join us at the holotables if you don't already play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and why I think it's the best time to come back if you used to play and you've had some time away. I think this is the perfect time to come back. We've got a lot of exciting things happening in the game. I'll put a link in the top right hand corner. Check that video out. But whether you're new to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes or a veteran player, I think it can still be worth taking a look at some of the best first teams to go after. Maybe to help focus your play if you are looking for tips on who to go after, or maybe just to pick up some characters if you are a veteran player but you just don't have either of these teams up to where they want to be. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to be splitting this by light side and dark side. It's one of the main ways the game is split. You can see you've got the light side battles and dark side battles right there on the main holotable in front of us. Now obviously there are a lot of other tags in the game. There's a lot of other ways that the characters are sorted in the game. We're not really going to pay so much attention to that today. We're really just going to focus, you can make some really interesting squads out of these different tags, but we're really just going to look at light side and dark side. They're the first areas of the game that you're really going to be focusing on. It's where most of the battles that you play initially are going to take place, so you need to specialize. One light side and one dark side. Then of course Cantina is the kind of third element of the game that's going to open up to you, and there you can start to bring multiple groups in. You can start to play around with a mixture of dark side and light side squads. But for today we're just going to look at the best light side and the best dark side team to go after. So starting with the light side, this choice is not going to be very revolutionary. It's pretty predictable. It's actually the good old standby, the team that people have been recommending for a long time. There's been some movement away from it lately, but I think it's time to come back, and I am of course talking about the Phoenix Squadron. And when I say that, I really mean these first 5 characters here: Hera Syndulla, Ezra Bridger, Kanan Jarrus, Chopper, and Zeb. Sabine is actually a great character. I'm going to talk a little bit more about her later, especially around the Mandalorian tag that is newly added to the game. But I don't recommend that Sabine Wren is actually a major feature of your first Phoenix Squadron team. I do think she's a great character, but she's not really needed in this first iteration of the team. She's also a hard farm. She's the hardest member of the Phoenix team to go after, so I don't recommend that you include her in your initial lineup. So once again, the lineup that we're going for is Hera, Ezra, Kanan, Chopper, and Zeb. So why do I recommend Phoenix? Well, first of all, they're one of the first and easiest complete teams that you can get in game. And what I mean by that is that, you know, instead of piecing together a rebel here, a resistance member there, a Jedi there, into a squad, Phoenix all have the Phoenix and Rebel tag. They all go together, and as such, they're a great team to use as kind of a learning team to learn about synergy and to learn about tactics in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. That in and of itself is a great reason to go to them first. But there's more than that. In addition to being this complete team, they've also got a really unique and great mechanic, and that's brought into action by Hera. Now, when you're farming the Phoenix team initially, and the Phoenix team are a really easy team to farm, as I said, if you ignore Sabine. So Sabine is a hard node farm. She's the only hard node farm in the gang. Everyone else you can get from the various stores. Chopper you can get from the Cantina store, Zeb from the Galactic War store, Kanan from the Squad Arena store, and Ezra and Hera are both Cantina node farms. So they're all pretty easy characters to get. You can very easily unlock them. It's another reason to exclude Sabine. She's just so difficult to unlock. But when you're unlocking them, you really want to make sure that you get the whole crew together. Now, I've spoken to several people in the past who ended up, they were recommended to unlock the Phoenix team, and they kind of went about it in dribs and drabs. They got a couple of members here and there, and they were thinking as they were unlocking them, what's all the fuss about? Why does everyone think they're such a great team? I mean, Ezra's fine, Chopper's fine, but they're not really excellent. It wasn't until they got Hera, the leader, and on the face of things maybe the least exciting character in the gang, that it all started to make sense. And Hera really is the linchpin. She's the character that makes the Phoenix Squad the Phoenix Squad, and it's all down to her leadership ability. Rise Together allows each active Phoenix ally to grant their unique ability to all other active Phoenix allies. Plus, whenever a Phoenix ally uses a special ability, they gain 20% turn meter, and that's doubled if the Phoenix allies are below full health. This, ladies and gentlemen, is huge. Every character in the game has a unique ability, and when you're running a Phoenix squad, a full Phoenix squad with Hera in the lead, every single character has got 4 unique abilities. They've got theirs, and then there are 3 other team members, excluding Hera, who's the leader. They get their unique ability as well. This is massive. It's what makes the Phoenix team the Phoenix team. Let's take a look at the abilities that are going to be shared amongst the team. So Ezra's push through. So this gives an extra offense, which stacks. It gives 10% extra offense, which stacks to 40%. So this goes to Ezra. Remember, because of that, Hera's leadership ability goes to everyone. So everyone is getting an extra 10% offense every turn, which stacks to 40. They get that at the end of their turn. Kanan's Clear Mind. This gives a 70% counter chance. This is crucial. We're going to come back to this in a second when we're talking about the way you can use this team to unlock legendary characters. This 70% counter chance is massive, and you'll see when you use the Phoenix team, there are many times when everyone's counter chance is triggered. So in other words, an enemy attacks and the entire squad gangs up on them, and that can be fatal. That can just wipe someone out. Plus, you get this 25% health addition whenever a character is debuffed. Chopper brings maintenance protocol to the table, so that's a 15% health gain on the start of the turn, and then the characters gain protection up whenever they're damaged. And finally, Zeb. So Zeb is giving plus 40% max protection just off the bat at the beginning, and then you recover 15% of your health on the start, or 15% of your protection rather, on the start of your turn. So this is huge. You can see how this Phoenix team using this mechanic, they all share these unique abilities and they're all buffing each other throughout the game. So when you're fighting with the Phoenix team or when you're fighting against a Phoenix team, it becomes a war of attrition. They don't put out a huge amount of damage. Most of these buffs are focused on keeping them healthy. Ezra, he's a damage dealer. You're getting that extra offense. Everything else is focused on keeping the characters alive, increasing their protection and increasing their health. Now, Phoenix also gives you ships. You get the Ghost with Hera, and you get the Phantom 2 as well. They're both pretty decent Rebel ships, especially for the beginning of the game, although you do need Sabine Wren if you want to unlock the Phantom 2. Not going to talk about that so much. It's not that interesting an area of the game, I think, ships, but that's an extra bonus. And just in case you need any other reason to go after Phoenix first, just in case you need any more convincing, there's one final reason that I'm going to make a push for doing Phoenix first, for that being your first light side team, and that is the fact that farming Phoenix directly lets you unlock 2 legendary characters and puts you well on your way to your 3rd. Now, obviously, the Phoenix are the team that's needed to unlock legendary character Grand Admiral Thrawn. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I've been pushing for this particular lineup, excluding Sabine Wren, but making sure that you've got these 5 that I've already mentioned. They, and you know, they are the team that really makes unlocking Thrawn as easy as possible. Can you do it with Sabine Wren, subbing out someone else instead and putting Sabine Wren in? Yes, you absolutely can. I know people who have, but I think this particular lineup is the easiest one to do it. You've got the maximum number of buffs that you're sharing around, and crucially, you've got Kanan's counter chance and his ability to taunt. So you've got 2 taunts on the team. Both Kanan and Chopper can taunt. That's really crucial to unlocking Thrawn. Sabine Wren's unique. She gives, I believe, increased crit chance and increased crit damage. So that's pretty cool. I mean, again, she's a damage dealer like Ezra, but it's not as important, not as helpful when you're trying to take down Thrawn's events. So that's the main reason that I go for this particular Phoenix lineup, although you can try it with Sabine if you want. As I mentioned before, Sabine has the Mandalorian tag now, this brand new tag in the game, so I actually think that means Sabine fits in really well with now the Armorer, for example, and Mando himself, and Gar Saxon, Imperial Super Commando rather, and Canderous. They're the other Mandalorian characters in the game. I think she's better served on that squad there. If you want to farm Sabine, that's where I would use her. I'd use her on a Mando squad, and I'd go for this version of the Phoenix squad. It's going to be the easiest way you can unlock Grand Admiral Thrawn, and you need the Phoenix squad to unlock Thrawn. However, because the Phoenix squad also have the Rebel tag, you can also use them to unlock Emperor Palpatine. So you're getting 2 legendaries for the price of 1 here, and 2 Empire characters. So this can get you on your way to building a really pretty decent Empire squad toward the beginning of the game. That's pretty cool. The third legendary that I mentioned, well, another early legendary you're going to be unlocking is Grandmaster Yoda. Now, Grandmaster Yoda needs 5 Jedi characters in order to unlock him. Any characters with the Jedi tag, guess what? By farming Phoenix, you already have 2 of those characters geared up and starred up, Ezra and Kanan. You only need 3 other Jedi characters and you can unlock Grandmaster Yoda. This gives you a ton of bang for your buck, and if it hasn't convinced you to use Phoenix as your first light side team, I don't know what will. Moving over to the dark side, a pathway to abilities some may consider unnatural. So if Phoenix is the team that I recommend you go for first, the second team I think you should focus on, and your first dark side team I'm going to recommend is the First Order. Now, why am I recommending a First Order team if, as we've already pointed out, you're already going to get 2 legendary characters that fit on an Empire team just by farming Phoenix? Why not go for Empire? Well, actually, I'm recommending First Order precisely because you've already got 2 legendary characters that go on an Empire team. Empire is another possible choice. In fact, it's what I've recommended in the past as the best first dark side team, but I'm switching it to First Order for a couple of reasons. And yeah, let's go with this as the first reason. The first reason is by farming Phoenix, you can pretty easily kind of passively gain an Empire team. So I don't think you really need to focus on it. If you've already got Thrawn, if you've already got Palpatine, who's by far the best Empire leader, pretty soon you're going to unlock Vader just naturally by completing the various achievements that you get as you move through the game. So you only need a couple of other characters. You could throw in, Tarkin. You're going to get Tarkin for free. They give you Tarkin, so you only need 1 other character. I mean, you could throw in TIE Fighter Pilot, you could throw in Stormtrooper. There are so many other Empire options there for you to throw in, and you've pretty much got a ready-made Empire team. So I'm assuming that you kind of just get that team passively in the background as you proceed through the game. And instead, what you're going to focus on is bringing the First Order to the galaxy. Your enemies are going to bow before the First Order. And this is the First Order team that I recommend, partly because it's the easiest First Order lineup to complete in the game. So your leader is going to be Kylo Ren unmasked. You're then going to have regular Kylo Ren. You're going to use Captain Phasma, you're going to use First Order Executioner, and you're going to use First Order Officer. Like Phoenix, they're also really easy to get. First Order Officer is available in the Cantina store. The Executioner you can get from an early Cantina node. Phasma is available in the Galactic War store. Kylo Ren is available as an early Cantina node and also in the Guild Currency store. And Kylo Ren Unmasked is also an early Cantina node, the same node that has his ship on it, which is pretty great because you're farming him, you're also farming his ship. Much like Phoenix, the First Order will also unlock a legendary for you. Unfortunately, not as great a legendary, BB-8. BB-8 really isn't anything spectacular in the game, but he is needed to unlock Jedi Training Ray later. So definitely worth it. Once again, you're investing in this team and you are getting a legendary unlock out of it. Now, I'm not going to lie, this team team doesn't have as much synergy as Phoenix, but it's still a very effective squad. And once again, that's down to its leader, Kylo Ren unmasked. Really, the rest of the characters, we're going after them because they're the easiest first order characters to get. There are better first order characters out there. I'd say Sith Trooper, Red Lobster, and Hux are both really great first order characters, but they're a lot harder to get. You don't really gain access to them until later in the game, so this is your best starting team. First order Stormtrooper is also available, but he's a hard node farm, so again, we're really going on ease here. Teams that you can get easily at the beginning of the game. But the character that really makes this team is Kylo Ren unmasked. Once again, it's all hinging on that leader. Now, Kylo Ren unmasked, his power really comes down to his leadership ability, Merciless Pursuit. So what that does is it gives all First Order allies 40% critical damage and 30 speed. When a First Order ally scores a critical hit, they gain 20% turn meter, and when a First Order ally gains a status effect, they recover 5% health and 5% protection. So it's throwing around a lot of buffs for First Order allies. Now, you do need the Zeta to get the full benefit of this leadership ability, so it is kind of pricey. If you saw my video that I recently did on the top 5 first Zetas to go for, I put a link in the top right hand corner for that. You'll see that he almost made the cut. This ability almost made the cut. It is a big investment, but even without that ability, you're still going to get quite a lot of gain from it. It's still worth it. And then you've got his unique ability, Scarred. When Kylo takes damage, he recovers 8% health, and a random First Order ally who doesn't have it gains advantage for 2 turns. Kylo has plus 50% counter chance doubled while he has taunt. Kylo takes reduced damage for percent health damage effects and gains taunt for 1 turn at the start of each encounter. He's really very tanky. He's a really very tanky lead, which means that he's going to be absorbing a whole lot of damage for your squad and keeping everyone else alive longer. Now, you need a Zeta for both of those in order to get the maximum benefit from them, and as I said, that's pretty costly. I'm not imagining that you're necessarily going to go for those Zetas first. Now, if you do go for this as your dark side team, you might. In my top 5 Zeta list, if you watch that video, you'll see I actually included Emperor Palpatine and Vader in that list ahead of Kylo Ren. Now, that was actually before I'd done the planning for this, and I realized that I think, First Order is maybe the best team to go for. So if I was remaking that video now, even though it was only a few weeks old, I think I might put Kylo Ren in there. I think his leadership ability really is very important, as is Scarred, so you do want to consider it. But even without those Zetas, if you just put the Omegas on them, you're still getting a lot of benefit. Now, the other thing that this team gives you, of course, which we did briefly mention, is ships. It gives you actually 2 ships. So first of all, Kylo Ren unmasked has his ship, the TIE Silencer, and it's actually a pretty decent ship. I've got it at full stars here and all the abilities maxed out, and it's in my main squad. I'm actually running with the Chimera right now on my offensive squad. It's a pretty decent ship and worth the investment. The second ship that it gives you is Kylo Ren's command shuttle. Now, this one I actually have not unlocked. This is a little harder to come by. As you saw, Kylo Ren unmasked and his ship are on the same node, which is awesome. It might even be unique in Galaxy of Heroes. I'm not sure about that. So to unlock this one, you also need the First Order Stormtrooper. He's not as easy to come by, but not difficult. Again, it's another ship to add to your roster. Now, if you're not quite convinced, you still need one final push before you choose First Order as your first dark side team. I'm going to give that push to you right now, and it comes in the form of Galactic Legends, more specifically SLK, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Now, increasingly, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is all about the Galactic Legends. They are the creme de la creme, the best of the best. They're the Kyber standard that everyone is shooting for. Now, and of those Galactic Legends, the 4 that we currently have in game, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is perhaps the best, perhaps the most useful. And I say that, take that with a pinch of salt, because as you can see, I do not have him yet. I'm nowhere near getting any Galactic Legends at the moment. I'm still only a mid-game player myself. But Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is possibly the first one to shoot for. And as you see here, by going for a First Order team, you already have a good number of the prerequisites started. Now, almost all of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's required units, the prerequisites are First Order. So by going after that team, it gives you a real boost. That's comparing him to some of the other Galactic Legends who have a little more, they're a little more wide-ranging in terms of the characters that they need, the backgrounds that they come from. The majority of Kylo Ren's required characters are the First Order. You've already made a huge dent in that if you go after this team from the very beginning. If they're some of your first relic characters, you're already a big chunk of the way there. And honestly, with the way the game is going right now, you probably do want to farm ultimately with a Galactic Legend in mind. So if you're starting the game right now, if I was starting Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes right now, I would be going after a Galactic Legend. As soon as I got into the game, I would choose one of the four, one of the Galactic Legends, and I would shoot for them. Now, considering that you need a light side team, Phoenix I still think is the best light side team to go for the reasons that I laid out. It's getting you a lot of legendaries. The Empire team, you're going to kind of accumulate that passively in the background. That's going to give some of what you need for Sith Eternal Emperor Palpatine, the Galactic Legends version of Palpatine. Rey and Kylo, I really think Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is the better one to go for. If I was starting Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes today, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is the legendary I would go for, and the way I would do that is by farming this team right here, the First Order team that I've laid out for you. So there you go. Those are my recommendations for the best first light side team and best first dark side team I think you should go for if you're starting the game now in 2021. Phoenix for light side and First Order for dark side. But what do you think? Maybe you have a different recommendation. I know that there are different suggestions out there for the best team to go for. Arnold 101 was looking at a separatist team a little while ago. I think he's kind of abandoned that now, and he's maybe championing Empire for dark side at the moment. I'm not 100% sure on that. Obviously, if you went for separatists, that would be your dark side team, and there are advantages to doing that too. It is a very powerful team, especially for areas of the game like Arena. We didn't really talk about that today. Probably out of these two teams, initially you're going to be running Phoenix first in Arena because it's kind of out of the box, just a workable team. You're going to need to invest a little more in your First Order team, but ultimately out of these two, I think you're going to end up running First Order in Squad Arena more than Phoenix. I think you're going to get a lot more from it, especially with Kylo Ren's abilities powered up a little bit. Kylo Ren Unmasked, that is. But those are just my recommendations. What do you think? What do you think is the best light side team? What do you think is the best dark side team to go for? What are you going for? What did you go for back in the day? As always, comments, criticisms, recommendations, very welcome down below. And if you do decide to go after either of these teams, do check in. Let me know how you're doing. I love to read comments where people are just kind of updating me on how they're doing with their progress in the game. Always keen to meet new holotable heroes. Well, that's it. That's all for Liam Maiden Gameplay today. If you enjoyed this video, found it entertaining or informative in any way, please consider giving it a like or a thumbs up down below. And why not consider subscribing to the channel? I drop new Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and Marvel Strike Force videos every week. That is all from Liam Maiden Gameplay for today. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, look after each other. And remember, the Force will be with you. Always.